What is up, Insaners, and welcome to a super interesting episode where we'll be going through the best possible wildcard draft for Game Week 31. Now, a lot of you are thinking of activating the wildcard or probably have already done it. I'm also on my wildcard in Game Week 31, so this video should help you get some thoughts on why to use the wildcard chip this week, what should be the team structure, and what can be the best draft with some tinkering. As always, guys, if you're new around here, please do subscribe to our channel Insanely Football. We do regular videos every week on FPL. Yes, that's right, that's every week. Let me know in the comments below if you're liking the videos and want me to try something new. One last thing, guys, make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed today's video. Also, don't forget to hit the bell icon if you want to get notified of our coming videos. Great, so let's get into it then. Just a small disclaimer before we begin, guys. The various drafts that we show in this video will be based on my team value, and that might be higher or lower than your team value. So you might not be able to get the exact same draft and set players, so guys, do keep that in mind. Now the first basic step is to understand why we should wildcard this week. A lot of us have doubles or even triple up on Leeds and Aston Villa, so this was majorly because of their games in the huge blank Game Week 29, and a lot of us have continued with them. I myself have 4 players from Villa and Leeds. So now the thing is that both teams have some tricky fixtures coming up, and you would probably want to look elsewhere for better returns. Now Leeds play Man City, Liverpool and Man United in the next 3 games, whereas Villa face Liverpool and Man City in their next 2. On the other side of things, I feel Wolves probably have the best set of fixtures till Game Week 35, along with Liverpool and Arsenal, who also have good fixtures. So there are high chances that you might want to get rid of your Leeds and Villa players and go for players from Wolves, Arsenal and Liverpool. Now in case there are a lot of transfers, a wildcard works really well. We also have the information about the double in Game Week 32, where Spurs have a double game week, so you clearly might want to double or triple up on them in case you haven't already. Now there are a few fixtures yet to be scheduled. Aston Villa has to play Everton at home, then Crystal Palace vs Southampton is also pending. Plus the 2 fixtures for Spurs and Man City, including Fulham and Southampton, also need to be scheduled. Now guys, in addition to all of this, there are high chances that we might get more blanks and double game weeks in Game Week 35 and 36. So there are a lot of unknowns right now. You can play a wildcard a little later, but I don't think so it'll benefit you more that time, considering that you already would have a lot of players in your team that you are thinking of getting now. Now let's talk about the structure next. Guys, it is important to have some base thinking done before you actually confirm your wildcard. Again, you might not agree with me on certain points, but that is absolutely fine. I am going to tell you what I'm thinking for my team this week. Now one of the most important things I am going to consider is how many premiums am I thinking of playing and are they good captaincy options. Our team value right now is 103.7 million, and in general, what I've seen in my draft so far is that having 4 premiums is the way to go. I mean, obviously you can go for a lesser number, but 4 actually allows me to keep the overall balance of the team pretty well. Now it's not necessary that your team value would be the same, it could be way more than us or even less. So depending on that, you could even get 5 premium guys if you reduce some budget elsewhere. Now another critical thing to decide here is whether to get a very good playing 11 and possibly just have fillers on your bench. Now this is great till the time all your players are playing, but in case it don't feature in a particular game, then you would suffer as you won't have the players to come and give you points from the bench. Guys, the other option is to maintain a balance between your playing 11 and the bench and then choose accordingly. I feel this approach will give you a more rounded squad and will be really important if you still have your bench boost chip available. Now in terms of the teams to consider, Liverpool is right up there. The question is how many Liverpool players to get. Should we get 2 players with 1 in defense and the other 1 in attack, or go for a triple up with double attack and a defender, or the other way around? Guys, one more thing to note while you think of the players is how many Spurs and City players to target. Now Spurs have a double game week in Game Week 32, but then blank in Game Week 33 along with Man City. So you need to decide how many players to get, because if you have more than 3 players from these teams in your team till Game Week 33, you won't be able to field a playing 11 that week. Some other teams like Arsenal have a great run till the end of the season, and teams like Man United, Leicester City and West Ham have mixed fixtures, so ideally you might not want to go super heavy on any team and ignore the others. Till now we've spoken about why you should wildcard in Game Week 31 and what should be your team structure. Let's dive into the base draft now, and we will do some tinkering after that. Now guys, a base draft does not include our current keeper Martinez. We have had him for a really long time, but I personally feel that there are better points available elsewhere. I know a lot of managers might want to keep Martinez. You can do that, but make sure that you have a rotating keeper as well, as Villa have some really tough fixtures now. Now we've gone ahead with Mendy from Chelsea. He's a first choice keeper for Chelsea. Their defense has been pretty good after Tuchel's arrival. He's kept 14 clean sheets guys this season. That's the joint second highest in the league, only behind Edison. The other keeper we've gone ahead is Foster from Southampton. I think he looks to be back in contention in the Saints lineup. He's definitely the cheapest playing goalkeeper and could be played in games where Saints might keep a clean sheet. Now in defense we've gone pretty budget. Our most expensive defender is Luke Shaw. We bought him for 5.1 million, but now I think he's 5.3 million. He has been excellent for Man United this season, and though there are some tough games against Spurs and Liverpool, there's good potential for attacking returns. Guys, we've opted for a second Chelsea player in our defense, and we've gone ahead with Rudiger. He was pretty nailed on, but didn't start the last game against West Brom. I still feel that he would play the game against Palace. Another reason for choosing him over Azpilicueta or Alonso is that he gives us a chance to save some funds and invest elsewhere. Now if you have the money, definitely you can choose Azpilicueta over him. That should be really okay. Another interesting option that we've gone for in defense is Cody from Wolves. Now Wolves have a really good run of fixtures. They play 5 of the 6 bottom teams in the next 5 matches. That is a really good run to be honest guys, but the question still remains. How much can we actually trust the Wolves defense? They've not kept many clean sheets this season, just 8 across the whole term, but you'll surely expect them to keep at least a couple in the next set of games. Now Cody looks like the best pick from the Wolves defense. He's advancing a lot more in recent games. Guys, he's also top for goal attempts and XG among all Wolves defenders over the last 6 weeks. Size is another one that you can look at. Both are pretty similar in terms of price, but I think Cody has recorded better numbers even from a bonus point perspective. He's surely the one that I'm going for this week. Our remaining 2 picks are super budget guys. We've gone ahead with Nat Phillips from Liverpool and Daniel Amate from Leicester. Phillips looks to be a regular first choice pairing now with Kabak for the remainder of the season. I still feel Phillips might not start 1 game or 2, but Liverpool's fixtures are too good to ignore even from a defensive point of view. I definitely see some clean sheets there, and Phillips looks the cheapest way to take advantage of that. Now Amate is our final pick. He has started 3 of the last 4 games for Leicester. Now again, there's a chance that he might not feature in every game, but considering the other Leicester options are quite expensive, and we don't really know who the fixed players starting week in week out are, this looks to be a pretty safe move. You can also go for someone like a Fofana, who is priced around the 5 million mark. If you have the budget, guys, he's definitely going to start all the games for the Foxes, and he could be quite a decent pick. Now the defense is out of the way, let's talk about our midfield. This is a draft with 3 premiums in midfield: Mo Salah, Bruno Fernandes and Heung-min Son. Now we don't have Bruno Fernandes in our current squad, but there's a case to be made for not having him this week against Tottenham. He has generally struggled against the top sides, but Spurs themselves haven't been able to get the results that they would have wanted this season. Guys, my main worry of not having him is the points loss that I generally get when he returns. He's owned by more than 50% FPL managers, and trust me, that's a huge number. Now I have gone for him in this draft, keeping him probably till the end of the season. Mo Salah is the next pick guys. He's the most expensive player in FPL this season, and he's another player who's facing a lot of scrutiny from FPL managers. Yes, the Egyptian has gone on huge runs without returning this season, but he scored against Arsenal in the last game. The fixtures look too good guys from an attacking point of view, so we'll keep our faith in Salah for now. Our last premium option is Son. Now he got injured in the game against Arsenal, but came off the bench and played the second half against Newcastle. I'm expecting him to start against United, but that'll be a tough game. We are keeping him for the double game week in game week 32, where he's facing Southampton and Everton, and there is points potential there. 33 is when we might ship him out or might just keep him on the bench. Guys, coming to our next set of midfielders, and they're quite high value. We've gone ahead with Diego Jota from Liverpool and the Hammers attacker Jesse Lingard. Both are in the budget category, but provide huge potential for attacking returns. Guys, Jota might not start against Aston Villa, but he has been far better than Firmino this season. He also has the ability to play anywhere among the front 3, so that's a huge plus. Also, his price is just under 7 million right now, and he's a very attacking option when combined with Mo Salah for the next few weeks. We've also gone ahead for Jesse Lingard. He has been brilliant since he started playing for West Ham, probably in the form of his life. Now, West Ham don't have the best of fixtures, but the way Lingard is playing at the moment, I think it's hard not to pick him in your wildcard team. Another news that we recently got is that Declan Rice is out injured for West Ham, and that could be a huge point, even from an attacking point of view, but I would still fancy Lingard to get some points from now till the end of the season. Now let's talk about our attack. We've gone more or less for the same attackers in all our drafts. Harry Kane is our first forward and a must-have for us. Kane has been the best forward by a mile this season. His goal involvement numbers, guys, are absolutely crazy. He has the ability to score against any team, and he's definitely going for that golden boot. That's a plus, to be honest, and I feel he's a definite must-have in your team from now till the season end. Iheanacho is our second forward. He has been the most valuable fantasy pick over the past few weeks. Now his price is insane, and he has been scoring consistently for Leicester. A problem with picking him is his game time now that Maddison looks to come back in the playing 11. Now guys, the way Leicester has been playing is with Vardy and Iheanacho up top and Perez just behind them. Ideally, Maddison should take the Perez role, but in case Leicester go with one up top, then it will be Vardy for sure. Still, I think at that price, it's a risk worth taking. I feel he'll be getting minutes in the coming games, so picking him looks like the right thing to do. The third forward that we've gone for is Antonio. He looked like a really good option for the coming weeks, but he came off with an injury against Wolves. Now David Moyes hasn't confirmed anything, but he mentioned in his post-match that it doesn't look that serious. We are keeping him for now, but in case he won't be fit before the deadline, we have a replacement ready and let's do some tinkering. So guys, we had around 1.9 million left in the bank with the first draft, so we've gone ahead for Lacazette instead of Antonio in case he's injured. Now a lot will depend on Arsenal's Europa League game, but I still think Lacazette will feature against Sheffield United. He looks like a really good punt for the next few weeks, with Chelsea probably the only tough game in this favourable run of fixtures. Now in case you want to look at the fixtures rather than recent results, Leno in goal from Arsenal is another option that we can go for. He's slightly cheaper than Mendy and also has a better run of games, especially from game week 35 when Chelsea's fixtures get a bit tricky. Guys, I'm currently leaning towards Mendy, but that can change before the deadline. Now a lot of you are also considering a triple up on the Liverpool players with Trent Alexander-Arnold in defense along with Jota and Salah in midfield. This is absolutely possible without getting rid of any premium options. One sacrifice that we have to make here is no Lingard in this team. We can't afford even a budget midfielder with Trent in the team, so we've gone ahead with Emil Smith-Rowe. He's only 4.2 million, but currently has an injury flag. Now there's a high chance that he might start if he's fit, and we might just keep him on the bench for most games. Now guys, in case Antonio is not fit, we won't be able to afford Lacazette in this draft, so we can go for a 1 to 2 week punt on the likes of Chris Wood from Burnley, or Adams, or even Callum Robinson from West Brom, and then probably a Mope or a Welbeck in game week 33 against Sheffield United before shifting to Bamford in game week 34. Another alteration or pick that a lot of managers might want is Jamie Vardy from Leicester. Now he has been more of a provider and creator than a scorer in recent games. His goal threat has reduced a bit and he's not scored in the last 6 game weeks. Now that's a bit worrying if you are paying a premium price for him. Now the fixtures are definitely there, and if Rodgers plays a lone man up top, he could be very instrumental in scoring goals for the Foxes. Now the Vardy transfer leaves us with only 4.4 million in the bank, and we've gone ahead with the filler option in Davis. He won't be playing in our 11 and will always be playing a 3-5-2 and probably a 4-5-1 in game week 33 when Tottenham players don't feature. Guys, obviously we'll have to transfer out Son or Kane to make that happen. Our final tinkering includes getting a Man City asset. A lot of you might just want to hold on to at least one City player, and I feel there's a huge upside in keeping an attacker. In terms of the midfield, we really don't know who will start, but I think my best bet would be KDB. He still might get benched for the Leeds game as he played the full 90 minutes against Tottenham midweek, and the tie is still not over, guys, so Pep might not start him. Now in case if I really want to take a punt, I'll probably go for Sterling just for this 1 week, and rather than taking out Salah, which I've done here, I would take out Fernandes against Tottenham and get in Sterling against Leeds. There's a high chance that he might start that game as he did not feature against Dortmund. With no clear captaincy options, I would in fact also take a chance with him on captaincy. I know guys, it's a huge risk, but imagine if this comes off, it will be a massive rank gain. The other option that we have is going for Gundogan if you already own him. I still think there are high chances that he might get rested for the Leeds game, but because of that low price, his benching would be easier to take. Also, not having the likes of KDB and let's say even Salah would help us get the likes of Trent, Vardy, Fernandes and Son as our premium options. It also leaves us with 1.3 million in the bank, which we can save for a later transfer or upgrade the Chelsea defense. So guys, there are a few options here. I also like the Neto pick here. I think he will be a good differential. I really don't think he will be highly owned across the top 10k managers, and having him in your team can give you a huge rank boost. Now guys, I personally like the draft with no Trent in it. It is more balanced, it also leaves me with some cash to make some other upgrades. I'm okay taking a chance with Iheanacho for now. I also like the 1 week punt on Sterling before getting Fernandes in game week 32 against Burnley and then Leeds in game week 33. The Leeds game in particular looks really solid for captaincy, especially when Kane and Man City players are blanking. So there are a lot of ways to go about your wildcard. It totally depends on your finances and plan for the coming game weeks. That'll be all for this episode, guys. I hope you'll find all this information useful in planning your wildcard teams this week. We also released a strategy guide video last week where we spoke about the different chip strategies and did an in-depth analysis of all the teams for game week 30 to 34. Do check it out. It will provide you deeper insights and help you with your overall strategy. Guys, you'll find a link to that on the top of your screen, so do give it a watch. Also, don't forget to hit the like button if you like today's video. Please do subscribe to our channel Insanely Football. Let me know in the comments below, guys, if you have any questions about the wildcard picks or transfer strategy this week. I would love to help you guys out. Our next video will be out on Friday, where we'll talk about some of the best transfer options this week, along with our team selection and best captaincy options for game week 31. So make sure you check that out as well. Have a good week ahead, and I'll see you Insaners next time.